Recording. Okay. All right, perfect. So tonight is, let's see, completing of week 3 of our Emerald to Diamond group, our new year, new rank. We're going to move into week 4, starting next week, which is the last week of February. And it is the last week. A few things I wanted to make sure we highlight before we get started on our call, because I think it's just important to highlight, what we got coming up. It's the last week to hit any kind of rank advancements that you're looking to hit for the month of February, or if you have any coaches who are looking to rank advance to at least Emerald, if they want to get the free leads for the month of February. Also for you guys, if you're wanting to make sure that you're getting the leads for February, at least securing your Emerald by February 25th. And then, of course, you have until February 29th to hit Success Club. Success Club 5 gets you just maybe 1 or 2 free non-paid leads, and then Success Club 10 will get you the free 1 to 2 free paid Shakeology leads. So just so that you have that kind of on your timeline, we do have a whole week left plus 2 days. So more than enough time to definitely hit Success Club. So definitely making sure that that's at the forefront of your business. Just to kind of go over what we're going to focus on tonight, I don't really have a topic for tonight. So no real training or anything like that, just because this week I kind of put the brakes on everything, just because I noticed that it was becoming challenging for a lot of people to keep up with what was being shared in the group page. And so I wanted to kind of put the brakes on it and just kind of take a step back and give everybody a chance to, get caught up and pull the reins on their business and making sure that, you guys are focusing on the right things to reap the right results. That's always the biggest thing. So just to kind of recap what we did go over this past week. We did talk about our leads. We did talk about reaching out to our leads that we have, which is an important part of our business, and the best ways to keep up with those leads. Last week we talked about accountability partners, which kind of spilled over into this week's training. So hopefully you got in touch with somebody who can be an accountability partner for you, that's kind of holding you accountable, staying real with you and pushing you. We talked about 3 levels of mentorship, on what type of how you can have that 3 levels of mentorship, which is also a different form of accountability. One of them being, somebody else who is, on your level, a coach who's on your level, who's working towards the same goals that you are, who's as committed as you are, another coach, not necessarily from our team, or maybe another coach that but can be from our team. The second one, accountability, is really yourself. You have to be accountable to yourself. You have to get real with yourself. And of course, having some kind of accountability at home with a spouse or something like that, just having a conversation with them so that they know, where you're at, why you are so focused on your business, or, why you're, working so hard in front of the computer or maybe on your phone, so that it doesn't seem like you're neglecting them or the family or anything like that, and just having that kind of accountability. And then, of course, having that mentorship from above. So, an upline coach or a mentor or something like that you're connecting with on a weekly basis. So accountability partners being huge. And then we talked about video. We obviously know that video is an important part of what we do, especially since we do work our business on social media. So it is an important factor. However, and I have noticed that some of you have stepped out of your comfort zones and done some video, which is awesome. Also, I want to point out that while, video is important to, our business and communication, as far as growing our business on social media, it isn't one of the vital behaviors. So that's one thing that it's kind of a fine line. We teach a lot of stuff in these trainings, guys, and all of it is important, because all of it will help you grow your business in one way, shape, or form. But it is really important that you understand that what's really going to drive your business is the 3 vital behaviors. Those are the core things that are really going to, drive your business, making sure you're inviting, making sure that you are broadening your network, making sure you're having those conversations and building those relationships and actually inviting people to the opportunity. Okay. That is the core of what our business is. And those are the basics. And when you're doing those things consistently, on, a high level, then you're going to move your business forward. So I just want to make sure that, I'm pointing that out. This is kind of like where time management, kind of comes in, and also kind of sorting out your priorities. Video is important, especially if you're growing your business on social media, especially if you have a like page and you're trying to grow your like page. We know that video is huge for that. So, and honestly, if you're trying to communicate with people, especially, when you're in this team, this kind of training, and Emerald to Diamond training, you're elevating yourself as a leader yourself. How many times do you guys see me pop up in video on the team page or in our team trainings? A lot, because it's what I've personally found to be the best way for me to explain myself to you guys so that you guys really understand. And to be honest, when you guys see or hear my videos, you probably have a much better connection to what I'm trying to, communicate across the board, I'm sure. I don't know. But I feel like video, when you can see somebody, you can hear their voice and you can hear their passion behind what the message is in that video, then it just makes a bigger impact and it makes more sense. And it just goes over so much better. So while video might not be the one, main thing that's going to drive your business, it's definitely going to be a support and a pillar of your business and growing it. So, excuse me. So just kind of keeping that in mind, guys, and try not to get too stressed out about, not, maybe if you didn't get it done this week, that's fine. But definitely not putting it so far on the back burner that, you completely forget about it, because it is something that will be important in driving your business and supporting your business, as a lot of this stuff is outside of like the 3 vital behaviors, of course. So that's what I really just wanted to kind of recap on. I wanted to focus, make sure the main focus this week is hitting Success Club. Like that has to be like non-negotiable, guys. If you're in this group and you're, committed to, what we're doing in this group, then Success Club, even before like Diamond, like Success Club has to be the number one thing that you're zipping up and making sure is solid for the month of February, because that is the foundation of our business. So focusing on that, we do have a What is Coaching webinar on February 23rd, which is Tuesday. Last week, we spent an entire hour-long training call on how to invite to the coaching opportunity via Facebook event page, and also how I personally invite to the What is Coaching webinar. So those are some really good tips. I hope you guys took some really great notes and applied that to our next webinar so that you guys can, invite to this, get some people in front of this opportunity, get some people in front of, the information that goes down in our What is Coaching webinar. So that way they can decide from Wednesday till Monday, which is the last day of February, on making a choice and signing up. And of course, reminding them that it's the last day to make or take advantage of the $140 21-day fix challenge pack, or the refresh challenge pack, or size. Of course, those are 3 great challenge packs. So making sure you're leveraging the great deal of those 3 programs to get people signed up for February so you can hit your goals. Those are good points to put across with people. It gives urgency, and that's at this point in the game, urgency is what you want to start creating so that people make a choice from now until next Monday, the 29th, the last day of February. So that is what we definitely want to focus on. ironically enough, tomorrow's National Wake Up Call is from one of the best coaches I can think of, Janelle Summers. She lives an hour away from me in Toledo. I've been to a ton of her Super Saturdays. I've spoken with her face to face. I've spoken with her on private messages. I've asked her questions. I've modeled my business around the way that she's grown her business. The way that I get coaches started right is exactly how I get my coaches started right, just from taking notes from National Wake Up Calls. She did a National Wake Up Call maybe like a year or two ago on how to get coaches started right. And I think I sat there and picked apart that call for I listened to it, and then I went back and I listened to it again, and then I organized my notes and I listened to it again, and I modeled my What is Coaching or not my What is Coaching webinar, my Getting Started Right after exactly what she does. And it's proven to be look at the great, you two are products of, being from my, Getting Started Right. And it proves to work. So, and I've learned that from her. So I know tomorrow she's going to be dropping some major nuggets on how to put the coaching opportunity in front of people. And I literally cannot wait. I got my pen and pad paper ready, and I'm ready to pick apart that call as soon as, she drops it. So whatever she's doing, she's a 3-time 15-star diamond coach, guys. She knows what she's doing. You definitely want to take some notes. And if we can apply some of those to, our What is Coaching webinar and get some invites out. So that's really convenient. I think it's really good that it just kind of falls into place. So, so I don't feel like I need to do a whole lot of training tonight. Because you guys are getting caught up on the training that was already left in the group. Tomorrow we are going to get back on track. I'm going to pick up right where we left off. Which technically means we're a couple days behind the 60-day group. So, so it'll be a little bit more than 60 days, but I think we'll be okay. So that I'm not worried about that, but we're going to pick up right where we left off. The regular posts are going to start on Monday, tomorrow. So be ready for those, and try to adjust where you need to as far as keeping up with the post. If you have any suggestions on what would be easier for you to keep up with the posts or anything like that, I'm open. I'm open to suggestions. Whatever makes it easier for you guys to stay in the loop, and so that way lines of communication stay open, and we're able to kind of get through this group together. And I know that nobody's falling behind. So that would be the best. What else? Yeah, that's pretty much it. I wanted to just make sure that you guys knew that the regular posts are going to start back tomorrow. We're going to pick up with, roles of productivity and, customer retention and customer service retention and things like that. Then obviously Tuesday is the What is Coaching webinar. So that will be the focus for the beginning of the week mostly, and getting out, individual emails and things like that to our What is Coaching webinar prospect people. So, really, since there's only 3 of you, and I know Kayla said you probably can't talk because your daughter's crying in the car, which is fine. But for Bree and Jennifer, you have me all to yourself if you want to ask questions. If there's anything in particular that you feel like you would like to ask or get clarity on, or anything like that, feel free to go ahead and, wave your hand and ask if you have a question or anything like that. I know that, Jennifer, we have a call scheduled for Wednesday. I did see your acuity come in, so we're good for Wednesday night. But did you guys have any questions for me as far as accountability before we start this week? Jennifer? I unmuted you.
Okay. So Wednesday, I'm going to do, well, I've got more than one question, but Wednesday I'm going to check with Denise to see if we could possibly do all 3 of us. Would that be good if she can do that?
Yeah, if she's available. What would we be talking about?
Well, you were talking about just hearing where she was and trying to get a different voice coming in, and because she is working, I know she's got one person invited to the webinar. I've given both of my coaches that are working right now like my script and what to do and sending it off their way and encouraging them to invite as many people as they can. So it's more of just trying that we were talking about, you had suggested that might be a good idea to just kind of like, not attack, but come from a different angle and be someone who's been in the business for a long time.
Right.
I just want to check before I check with her to see if that would be a good time.
Yeah.
Okay.
I remember what we were talking about that, just to kind of, see where she's at, see what her goals are. And, it'd be a different voice, that she hears other than yours. And it would kind of help her to see, what else she's kind of connected to and really just how like serious it is, and how, she has an opportunity to be a part of your diamond team. And that's, a pretty cool thing. And sometimes when you bring a third party in to talk about that, it ignites a fire and it kind of opens people's eyes to the idea like this could be like a really big deal. I can remember being in calls like that when I was, like a younger coach, I guess. Not that I'm an older coach, but you know what I mean?
And I brought it up to her and she seemed very receptive. She's like, yes, any tips I could get. She was very excited about that. So not about our call Wednesday, but just in general.
Right.
And she was very,
another thing, since this is recording, this is like for everybody or anybody that listens to the recording, that since we are going into week 4, technically like we're wrapping up our first month of Emerald to Diamond group. So technically we have, 1 more month. So this is like kind of like reaching a halfway point. So, I hope you guys are obviously still reading your like John Maxwell, or at least, halfway through that, or getting through that and getting some good takeaways from that. But also, a halfway point would be a good time to revisit your diamond chart again. And maybe if maybe it's changed, maybe it hasn't. If it has changed, definitely rewriting it out, taking a look at it again, seeing where you're at now and where you can go. From there, and taking it, because things have changed. Maybe you brought new coaches on who are ready to work. Old coaches who you thought were workers are now not workers, and so that way you can just take a look at where you're at and where you need to go from there. So I think a halfway point is good. So I think sometime this week you should be revamping your diamond chart or rewriting your diamond chart, just for yourself and looking at it. And honestly, I would love to see it, because I would love to know where you're at. I know Jerry and I jumped on the call this weekend and kind of went over her new diamond chart for that she just, revamped. I think you just signed a coach. Did that coach end up signing up, Jerry? Yeah.
Yeah, and I actually signed up another, so I signed up 2 since then.
Nice. Good job. High five.
That's awesome.
It is awesome. Good job. Good on you. So you are you're working on your emeralds, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So me, I have 1 more on my left side, and then I'll be working on my emeralds. And then my other coach I contacted her tonight. She hasn't got back with me yet, but she's supposed to be working on her emerald. Okay. So I have to touch base with her to see where she's at.
Awesome. So you're definitely taking on a leadership role with now helping your coaches elevate themselves to the next level, which at the beginning of this call, I mentioned that this is the last week for any coaches who are looking to get leads in February. They have to seal up Emerald by Wednesday night, the 24th. So that is one thing you can definitely use as leverage for your coaches, just to say, hey, if you're thinking about Emerald, it's just 2 people, you might want to push to do Emerald in February. So that way you can at least give yourself the chance of getting some free money in February and free leads. Obviously you still have to hit Success Club, but in order to get the free leads, you obviously have to be Emerald. And that date, the last date to qualify for Emerald in February is February 24th, this Wednesday before midnight. So that's just something just to keep on your radar too. And just use that as kind of as leverage for your new coaches. If they are shooting for that goal anyway, maybe push up the date as opposed to waiting until March. But But of course, that's just something that they have to want, of course. But it is something nice to put in front of them and say, hey, here it is for the taking if you want it. So it helps you in your business and it helps them in theirs. So just to kind of put that out there. But yes, Jennifer, that sounds good. So just let me know about Denise and then we'll go from there. Did you have any other questions?
Yeah, I've been putting everything out there for the webinar, and now the people, like I have like 7 people that are maybes and 2 people that are solids. So what should I be sending out to them tomorrow?
You have 7, did you say, that are maybes?
Yeah, 7 that are maybes and 2 that are yes.
2 that are for sure. Okay, so what I usually do is for like my maybes or those that are just interested, I will just send them a message that it's one of my quick messages. Let me see here. I could probably post it in the page, or I can. It's just like a blanket general message that I put out there to them, a private message. And usually it just, you know what, I'm just going to, it's way too long for me to read it. So I'm just going to copy and paste it. And where can I put it? Where can I post it so that I don't confuse everybody? Let's see here. But I'm sure other people who are in this group probably want to see my follow-up email or follow-up message as well. So I'll just post it in our Sunday accountability call. I'll just say this was the message. Where is it? Okay, here we go. Just want to make sure I have the right link in there. February 23rd. Yep. Okay. Okay, so you might want to proofread it before you post it, just because I'm doing this really fast.
That's perfect. Thank you.
There we go. Okay. Here, I'll post it in our, okay. 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 There you go. Okay. So I just posted it underneath today's Sunday accountability. It's in the comments underneath there. So basically it's just like a blanket follow-up that says, you know, hope you're well. Recently you had joined my Glance into Coaching group or Facebook event. Wasn't sure if you were still interested in what we do as coaches, but I wanted to invite you to our free webinar anyway, Tuesday, you know, February, blah, 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 tomorrow, 9 p.m., giving all those informations, just kind of saying it will feature information about coaching, exactly how it works. I hope you can attend. Information is below. And then it gives them 2 ways to join. It gives them a way to join the Glance into Coaching group, which is great because they don't actually have to confirm to you whether or not they are joining or not, because some people are just weird because they just feel like if they actually verbalize the commitment, then they are like, you know, concrete. You know what I mean? That's just like, this is like a personal thing with people. But if they know they can join a group without you thinking that they don't know that they're joining, it's a mind game. But really we know that they're joining because they have to ask to join the group and we have to approve them. So you see how we get in their head here? Like I'm just gonna go ahead and lay this on the table, and if you want to take it, then you go right ahead and take it. But I still know if you are gonna go or not, you know? So it's kind of like we have that like hidden radar. So but you still give them the opportunity to do it without them actually making a commitment. So that way, if they do add themselves to the group, at least you know, okay, they've at least made the attempt to add themselves to the group. So I know there's some level of curiosity on them. So if they add themselves to the group, great, put them on your list, and they have the webinar information, and let them and I wouldn't push, just let them decide whether or not they're going to join that night or not. But now you have their name down, and then later this week you're going to say, hey, I seen you add yourself to the Glance into Coaching webinar group. Were you happen to able to get on the webinar? What did you like about what you saw on the webinar or in the group page? And then that way you can start to build up conversation with them. That's what I usually do with those who say they're just interested and haven't confirmed.
Okay.
So, and then those that are confirmed, I basically do the same thing. I basically send follow up and just say, hey, here's the information again. I hope to see you on, blah, 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 that kind of thing. And then you just keep them on your follow-up list for the rest of the week. And then you just kind of, and that's when you can kind of see if they watched. If they did, great, dive into what it was they liked about it, see where they're at with it. If they haven't watched it, then you have, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, the weekend, and even until Monday for them to watch the replay link and give them a chance to see what it's about. Remind them that there is the great deals, the $140 challenge packs, and do that. So that's what I'll do. That'll be my focus definitely for tomorrow. I have my list that I'm going to be sending those quick follow-up messages to, and then just seeing who we're going to have on that list, and just get my list, webinar list going, so I have my follow-up after the webinar.
Perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome. Does anybody else have any questions for me tonight? Bree, I'll unmute you. There you go.
Having a terrible time getting Facebook ads to approved. Horrible.
Yes.
I just got another one today. Do you have any tips for what you do?
Yeah, Facebook. I remember when I first started doing Facebook ads, it was a big pain in the ass. I hated it. I can remember sitting here at my desk, going, literally, I probably had to take mini breaks because I wanted to punch my fist through the screen. I was like, okay, this is effed up and I'm pissed off right now. I would sit here and I'd be like, and I'd have to put my phone down, get up and walk away. And then I'd have to cool down. Then I'd come back and be like, okay, I can do this. Then I'd sit down and then I'd force myself to read what they were telling me I wasn't doing right in the freaking Facebook ad, and be like, okay, let's try this again. Probably rewrote. You're going to love that, Jennifer, being the teacher you are. I probably rewrote a freaking Facebook ad 50 times. I will never forget that Saturday that I dedicated to sitting down and learning how to post a Facebook ad. And it was probably the worst day of my life, probably. I wanted to shoot myself. I was like, oh my God, I'm like, this is not even worth it. This is a big pain in the ass and not even worth my time. But then I would walk away. I'd be in my kitchen. I'm tapping my finger. I'm like, I have to do this. I have to do this, because if I don't, then I'm not going to grow my business the way I want to freaking grow my business. So suck it up, Liz, sit down, figure this shit out. It was just, for me, it was trial and error. I just had to keep posting and see what worked and see what didn't work. Now, a lot of the times with Facebook ads, the reason why it's not getting approved is either because of the picture, because it's a before and after picture, or there's too much wording on the picture. You have to comply with the 20% Facebook text rules. Did you know that? You do know that? Okay.
Yeah.
So
it's trying to figure out how much is 20%.
Okay. That might be your first problem then. So there is a really cool tool on floating around, and I use it a lot. Where is it? You can actually upload your image to this grid. It's a Facebook tool. It's called the Grid tool. And you just upload your image with your text that's on it, and you can actually see what 20% is on your image. So
So it tells you if your picture will get approved?
It'll say you can click it's like a grid. So you upload your picture and then you upload it, and then there's like a grid, and then like say you have like, I don't know, like 21-day fixed challenge group. I'm just giving you an example. Like you have it written out and you click on the boxes that have text on them, and then it will say, okay, 16% of your picture is covered in text, which means it should get approved. But if you go off the grid and you have all these boxes like checked because you have text everywhere and it says, oh, 27% of your picture is covered in text, there's a chance it won't get approved. Okay. It's a really easy tool. You'll be able to figure it out once. Yeah. I'm just, yeah, it will. It was a big help for me. So I just posted that also in the today's accountability stream. So it's the Facebook ads tool text layover link. Super easy to use. And that will help you with like text. So that is definitely one main way reasons why Facebook ads don't get approved. So it can be the picture. It's usually before and after. Facebook doesn't like before and after pictures for ads. Text. If there's too much text, then it won't get approved. If at any time in your ad you are talking about making an income or targeting a specific market like women or it's like being like segregated, you know what I mean? Like you're being like almost like segregating. It won't approve it. If you don't capitalize Facebook, the letter F, it will not approve your ad. Yeah. I, for the life of me, cannot. And they tell you something like, I don't even know. They don't come out and say, oh, you need to capitalize the letter F on Facebook. No, they go into some retarded explanation why your ad wasn't approved. And you're like, what the hell does that mean? And then you spend hours trying to translate it. And at the end it was, oh, you need to capitalize the F on Facebook. And I'm like, what the F didn't you tell me that? Like in the first place, it's like, trust me, like Facebook is a conspiracy. They know that we need them and they play with our emotions. So those are some of the main reasons why Facebook ads don't get approved. And yes, they are a pain in the ass. And no, you're not the only one that has ever dealt with this. We've all been over here pulling our hair out trying to figure out the Facebook ads. But I'm telling you, once you have a trial and error thing, you finally figure it out, then you just know. And then you don't ever have a Facebook ad disapproved ever again. So does that help a little bit for you?
Yeah, I was kind of wondering for like ads for coaches.
Mm-hmm.
If you can't talk about like income, what kind of like incentive type things can you talk about?
The best advice that I can give you on that is you can head over to my page and you can look at some of the coach ads that I've put, and they're pretty easy to pinpoint. I can maybe go into my page and maybe tag you in a few of them, so just so that you can see. But another thing too is go follow like other top coaches like Anita Myron or Janelle Summers, Megan Easwalden. Who else do I love? Those are the main ones that I love. They often, have out coaching opportunity ads. And sometimes the wording, it's just about the wording, don't ever copy and paste an ad, and post as your own. Try to, take the meat of the message and reword it almost to how you would talk or how it would apply to your life. But still keep the idea of the message. That's what I do, because sometimes it's hard to come up with coaching ad, words and ideas and things like that. So my thing is like, it's okay to be a copycat, but just make sure you're copying the right cat and you're customizing it to make it your own. So it's speaking your voice and your truth and your story, not somebody else's. And obviously you're using your own image and putting your own spin on it. So that's my best advice for you. And of course, like anytime you're talking about income and making, a certain amount in a certain amount of time, Facebook might flag you for that being unrealistic or, something like that. I know that for Beachbody Legal, anytime you're talking about making an income, they do love for you to put that Beachbody disclaimer down at the bottom that just kind of says, hey, yes, even though this is a totally legit business, I just have to say, that, no income is, guaranteed. It's based off of each individual's effort and, time commitment, yada, yada, yada. And you'll see that on other top coaches posts, but, and I think I even have it on a few of mine. So those are some tips there, but, the best way to learn how to word it is to learn from the experts, learn from the top coaches who are killing it in this business and see what they're posting, find who's successful and do what they do. That's been how I've built my entire coach business. I've searched for those who are successful the way that I want to be successful, and I just do what they do. And I make it my own. So that's the best advice that I can give you.
Cool. That's awesome. Thanks.
Okay, cool. Was there anything else? Nope. Cool. Awesome. That's a good question. I'm glad. I know you've been struggling with the damn Facebook ads. You're in good company.
I've had many turned down in the beginning, and all I was doing was saying things like, feeling comfortable, I think even about myself, how I didn't feel comfortable in my own skin or something. And they totally kept rejecting it, saying I had like derogatory verbiage. And I'm like, how am I doing this? So I definitely keep changing what it is and trying to do it more baseline. But it's sad because that's what I'm, connecting with other people. But
right.
I'm like, derogatory, how? I'm talking about myself.
Right. It's just Facebook. They got issues, It's hard to get past that Facebook barrier. But once you do, you find like your sweet spot. It's about finding your sweet spot. And then you find a groove and then you just keep going on with it. So sending good Facebook accountability vibes to you this week so that way you can get some ads approved and get some feelers out there. Yes, fingers crossed. You're going through the storm. You'll get through it. Was there anybody else who had any other questions, accountabilities for this week that they wanted to bring up? Anybody?
I didn't, I totally was trying to reevaluate and keep finding people that were disappearing. I think this is my hardest month ever for some reason. I don't know why. So I just keep picking up and moving on. I forgot about the accountability partner thing. So because I've been just relisting and reconnecting and starting again. And I feel like every day I'm like starting again. Like I get halfway through scripts and people just disappear. So is there something I need to do for that? Like you said, to find someone, and I honestly that wasn't on my radar.
Right. I mean, I would definitely connect with somebody who is probably in this group or on our team that maybe has like the same goals as you. Bree, I don't know if you have an accountability partner or if you've reached out to anybody. You guys want, I mean, honestly, it's just really your own preference. Like accountability partners, I'm not going to lie, they're tough. Because you have to, they are, because at least for me, they are. Like, I'm just being honest. Like I'm somebody who I really don't need to be pushed by somebody else. I mean, it's nice to be pushed, and that's what I feel like I have Jeff for, because, he's like that mentor from above for me. But I don't really need to be pushed. I'm kind of somebody who just kind of runs, and I'm like, whoever wants to run with me, then I'm going to try and beat you. You know what I mean? Like that's how I'm personally wired. But then there's other people who feel like they need some kind of push or some kind of accountability. And really the key to accountability partner is finding somebody who needs that same too.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And really it's just about that. But having some layer of accountability is so key because being by yourself is not fun. I've been there before. And you get inside your own head and it's not good. And, it's lonely. So, so having definitely just, having somebody else either on the team or if you know of another coach that you feel like resonates with you and is your coaching style, has the same goals as you do, finding that. And sometimes it does take a while to find somebody who is a good fit for you. So just know that's not something that you just go out and get and it's like, okay, yes, I have an accountability partner. It doesn't work that. It doesn't really work that way. Like it really has to be somebody who resonates with you. So I just want to I'm really just planting the seed with you guys start thinking about who you can have as like some kind of accountability partner, somebody who is on the same playing field as you or a little bit higher than you that's going to push you, for all of you. Like I'm definitely like accountability from a mentor level. So I'm accountability from above, but we talked about those 3 levels of mentorship and those 3 levels of accountability. Like you really need somebody who's a mentor from above, somebody who is on the same playing field as you. And then of course, since we're working on being leaders here and growing our own team, then we need to be mentors to our team and pulling them up. So it's like you have like this ladder of accountability. You know what I mean? You have people that are going to pull you up, and then you are the polar upper. You know what I mean? It's all in balance. So that's really just what I'm meaning by like accountability partners. So if I were you, I would just kind of keep your eyes and ears open to somebody that you feel, would resonate with you and is going to help push you and, keep you on track, because I mean, right now you said that you're having, like one of those most struggling, trying months that you've had, people falling off and, things like that. Sometimes you just need an accountability partner that says, okay, just go back to the basics. It's so crazy how accountability partners work because sometimes they could just tell you something that you already know. Hello, I know that I need to go back to basics. Just go back to reaching out, getting new, fresh people on the list, yeah, I know this. But when you hear it from somebody else and they kind of confirm to you, yeah, your thinking is right on track, then you all of a sudden feel like this calm, I was thinking that all along. So it's not like you're alone, having this internal struggle in your head, am I doing the right thing or am I not? Accountability is them coming in and saying, look, you're okay. You've hit Success Club every month in the past. You're doing all the right things. Just keep doing the right things and reaching out and just keep telling yourself, this is going to happen come hell or high water. I'm going to hit Success Club. And, we've got a week and 2 days. That's a hell of enough time to hit Success Club. Hell of enough time. And crazy things happen at the end of the month, especially if you're following up and you're letting people know, giving them that sense of urgency, like, hey, sugar, get off the pot. Really?
Yeah.
Do you want to pay full price or do you want to get a discount? Really, that's the bottom line. Sometimes you have to say that. It's like, all right, I really know that you wanted to do this. It's either you get the discount now or you pay full price later. Really, it doesn't matter to me because I'll take your money anyway. Honestly, that's the kind of, mindset that you have to have. It's like, hey, I got the deal and you don't.
I want to make an ad that way. I want to take your money no matter what.
Yeah. Facebook, is that allowed?
Approves that.
Yeah. Mark Zuckerberg, you're $32 billion, Why don't you pay for some Facebook ads for us? But yeah, so yeah, it's good. We got a whole week. We've got a lot of things that are going to help push us this week. We got the webinar, a lot of good things. The deals, the 140, and they're the best deals. And honestly, some of the best programs, 21 Day Fix, 3-day refresh, size, those are all great programs at great prices.
Mhm.
So yeah, for sure.
Thank you.
That's cool. You're welcome. Anybody else? Do you guys have any other questions for tonight? No? Alrighty, girls. Well, that's all I have for you tonight. I did record this. I'll post the recording as soon as I can get it uploaded. Like I said, posts are resuming as normal tomorrow. We're just going to pick up where we left off, whenever it was that we left off, Thursday, I think it was. So we're 2 posts behind on the group, but that's okay. I'm not worried about it. Focusing on the What is Coaching webinar for February 23rd, which is Tuesday this week. And that's really it. Check your diamond charts too. Rewrite them, relook at them, and take a look at what you're looking at and how you need to move forward from there. So those are the main things that we're looking at this week, and we are going to head into week 4 of Emerald to Diamond Group as we wrap up February. Alrighty, so we'll see you girls on the page, and I have a lot of one-on-one calls with most of you this week, so I'm looking forward to it. So we'll see you guys later.